Look around you. The modern battlefield isn't a place of mud and trenches. It is your mind. It is a silent war against endless distraction, engineered comfort, and constant chaos. And most men are losing this war, unarmed. You're told to be more motivated, to hustle harder. But that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. To win in 2025, you don't need more motivation. You need better, timeless weapons. Today, I am arming you with 7 stoic weapons, forged in ancient fire, to become the unbreakable man the world so desperately needs. This is your primary defense. It's the first and most important piece of equipment. This shield stops 90% of all mental and emotional attacks. Before they can even touch you, the philosopher Epictetus, a former slave, gave us this weapon, he said. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Your opinions, your judgments, your desires, and your actions. These are behind your shield. You control them. Everything else, what people say about you, the weather, the past, the traffic, these are external arrows. You do not control them. Your job is to hold the shield firm. Let the arrows of external events clatter harmlessly to the ground. When you try to control what you can't, you drop your shield. You get hit. Consider the story of Alex, an entrepreneur. He launched his startup and worked tirelessly for a year. Then his biggest client suddenly left. The old Alex would have been paralyzed by anxiety, blaming the market, the client, himself. He would have dropped his shield, but the Stoic Alex uses his shield of control. He asks, "What do I control here?" He can't control the client's decision. That is an arrow. But he can control his response. He can analyze what went wrong, rally his team, and pivot the business strategy. He focuses all his energy behind his shield, on his own actions. The client leaving was a setback. Alex's disciplined response turned it into a catalyst for a stronger, more resilient business model. A shield is for defense, but a man cannot win a war by only defending. You need a weapon to advance, to carve your path through chaos. This is your sword of action. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, wielded this daily. He reminded himself, "Don't talk about what a good man is like, be one." This weapon is about acting with virtue, right now, regardless of how you feel. It's the direct antidote to procrastination, excuses, and passivity. You don't debate the action, you take the action, the feeling will follow. Take David, a writer. He dreamed of writing a novel. For years, he talked about it. He waited for inspiration, for the perfect time. His sword was sheathed. Then, he adopted the sword of action. His new rule was simple. Write 1 page, just 250 words. Every single day, no matter if he felt inspired, tired, or blocked. He didn't need to feel like a writer. He needed to act like one. Some days the writing was terrible, but he was swinging his sword. After 6 months of this daily disciplined action, he had a 90,000-word manuscript. The action itself created the identity he desired. What if you could make yourself immune to fear, pain, and misfortune? What if you could walk through life's hardships unscathed? This is the power of your armor. Seneca, the great Stoic thinker, trained with this weapon. He advised to set aside days where you are content with the scantiest and cheapest fare. This is not self-punishment. This is tactical training. By voluntarily facing cold, hunger, or hardship, you build a psychological armor. You prove to yourself that your peace and character cannot be broken by external conditions. When real hardship strikes, and it will, you are already clad in armor. It barely registers. Ben, a sales manager, lived a life of comfort. He hated the cold, avoided difficult conversations, and always took the easy route. When a recession hit, his sales team struggled, and the stress was crushing him. He was exposed. He started building his armor. He began taking a cold shower for the last 60 seconds of his morning routine. It was awful at first, but he was training. He started taking the hard phone calls first thing in the morning. He was voluntarily facing the discomfort he usually avoided. After 90 days, the recession wasn't over, but Ben was transformed. The stress of the market no longer paralyzed him. He was calm, decisive, and resilient. His voluntary discomfort had forged an armor that the recession could not pierce. This is the ultimate strategic weapon. It turns fear into preparedness and chaos into a mapped-out path. The Stoics didn't just hope for the best. They were strategic pessimists. They premeditated evil by mentally rehearsing loss, failure, and difficulty. You rob those events of their power to shock and paralyze you. You have a plan. You've already walked the map. Sarah, a project lead, was managing a critical software launch. The anxiety was keeping her up at night. What if the servers crash? What if there is a critical bug we missed? Instead of just worrying, she used the map of premeditation. She gathered her team and said, "Okay, let's assume it will go wrong. What is the worst-case scenario for each step?" They mapped it out, a server crash plan, a bug escalation protocol, a communication plan for delays. On launch day, a significant bug was indeed found, but there was no panic. Sarah's team simply looked at their map and executed the plan. The bug was fixed in 2 hours. They had rehearsed for this very moment in their minds. The obstacle was not a disaster. It was just a point on the map they had already studied. Every elite soldier, every master craftsman has an after-action report. This is yours. The lantern of reflection is your tool for daily, disciplined self-assessment. Seneca ended every day with this practice. He would ask his soul what evil he had cured, what fault he had resisted, where he had erred. You shine this lantern on your actions at the end of each day. You see clearly where you strayed from the path of virtue, where you were cowardly, where you were excessive. Without this lantern, you are walking in the dark, repeating the same mistakes. Day after day, Tom, a father, had a short fuse. After a long day at work, he would often snap at his kids over small messes. He'd feel guilty, but didn't know how to change. He started using the lantern of reflection. Each night, he'd spend 5 minutes with his journal. He asked, "When did I lose my temper today? What was the trigger? Was it within my control? How could I have responded with more wisdom and patience?" After 2 weeks of this, he saw a pattern. He was most irritable when he felt his own workday had been unproductive. The problem wasn't the toys on the floor. It was his own sense of inadequacy. With this insight, he could address the real issue. The lantern didn't just show him his stumbles, it lit the path forward. This is the most powerful and penetrating weapon in your arsenal. It is the arrow of Memento Mori, the reminder of your own death. This is not morbid. It is the ultimate source of motivation and clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself that you could leave life right now, and that should determine what you do and say and think. This arrow, shot into your daily routine, pierces through all procrastination, all fear of what others think. It asks one devastatingly simple question: is this how I want to spend my precious, limited, and irreplaceable time? James, an accountant, was in a safe job he hated. For 10 years, he was comfortable, miserable, and constantly put off pursuing his passion for woodworking. It was always, someday. Then his own father passed away unexpectedly. Facing the stark reality of mortality, his own memento mori was a painful but necessary arrow to the heart. Someday was a lie. He realized that the security he craved was an illusion. He started his woodworking business on the side that very month. Within a year, he had replaced his accounting salary. The arrow of memento mori didn't kill him. It killed the part of him that was afraid to truly live. And now, we come to the master's weapon, the secret fire. This is amor fati, the love of one's fate. This is not just accepting what happens, this is loving it. The Stoic sees every event as fuel, Nietzsche, who was deeply influenced by the Stoics, captured it perfectly when he said his formula for greatness is to want nothing to be different. Not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. The failed business, love it. It taught you resilience, the heartbreak. Love it. It taught you what to truly value. Your fate, in all its forms, is the fire that forges you. Don't run from it. Don't just endure it. Stoke it. Michael was a rising star in track and field. On the path to the Olympics, in one brutal race, he tore his Achilles tendon. His dream was over in a snap. The easy path was despair, bitterness, and asking why me. But Michael, through the wisdom we explore here on Stoic Message, chose amor fati. He told himself, "Good. This injury is now part of my story. I will love it and use it." During his long recovery, he discovered a passion for coaching and sports psychology. He realized his true strength wasn't just in his own legs, but in his ability to strengthen the minds of other athletes. Today, he is a renowned performance coach for Olympians. The fire that consumed his first dream forged him into a much more impactful version of himself. These are not just philosophical ideas. They are your arsenal for the modern world. The shield, the sword, the armor, the map, the lantern, the arrow, and the fire. You don't need all of them at once. Your mission is to pick one weapon this week. Just one. Practice it. Drill with it. Master it. Then add another. You are not just learning concepts. You are building yourself into the unbreakable, virtuous man that this era demands. The battle for your mind is now. It is time to arm yourself. Choose your first weapon and declare your intent in the comments below. Your journey to mastery begins with a single disciplined step.